All right, bean farmers, it's time to get off your butt and start rocking out that sweet dad bod for summer. In order to do that, we're gonna need some real gym power.
Gym power? What's that?
Is that like the time you tried to lift weights and hurt yourself?
Oh yeah, you're funny, buddy. So funny, you can go to your room. This is the Lost Dimension Collection, QUByte Classics by PIKO.
What the heck?
Spawning season is right around the corner, here on the bean farm.
And this is our review of... I'd like to thank the publisher for providing me a review copy of the game. It was developed by PIKO Interactive and published by our friends over at QUByte Game Studio. And after 30 years of development, this game finally released on June 2nd to the Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch marketplaces for the price of $9.99. And this week's QUByte release comes to us as another port from PIKO Interactive. The development timeline of this title is a bit long-winded, so I'll just save you the time and say it's been in development for over 30 years.
What?
Yeah, whatever.
No, I'm serious. It was originally made for the Sega Mega Drive, or Genesis if you were like me and lived in America, and the Super Nintendo, which explains a lot if you look at the gameplay. My entire Genesis game collection looked very similar to this game style, or if you were a super gamer nerd, like me, you jumped on what I thought at the time was the 16-bit train and played a lot of games that looked almost exactly like this on the TurboGrafx 16. The storyline here is fairly weak and has little to do with why your character is walking to the right and killing everything that moves. See, the aliens have attacked your land, and old Jim here just can't stand for alien invasions. Grabbing his favorite weapons, and Jim has a lot of those, he starts to take out the evil Vaprak forces, slowly working his way through the range of platforming levels in hope of taking down all foes, maxing out his abilities, and ultimately saving the planet. Okay, way to go, Jim. Just slaughter everything. Jeez.
I'm off to save the planet! Yeah!
Okay, so besides the nostalgic trip down memory lane, this game may not do much for modern gamers, other than provide like a challenge or possibly a chance to experience how kids in the 90s had to navigate their console games before the birth of the casual millennials. It's all your fault, Y2K. So yes, this is a port of the original game, which you can still find the original on Steam, but this version features support for two versions of the game, the 16-bit and the 8-bit version. That means you can enjoy the game two different ways.
Oh yeah, two at a time.
And of course, they've added custom controller mapping. The game features many game styles found on Mega Drive games like platforming, side-scroll shooters, and of course, something that kind of resembles Space Harrier? I don't know. The 16-bit version really felt like an entirely new game, and feels like what NES games should have played like, with the increased frame rates. PIKO has also added a few new features, often only found on emulators, like 4 screen filters. You got sharp, smooth, XBR, and CRT versions. There's the 3 screen types, normal, fit, and stretch, for you psychopaths out there. It really is hard for me to recommend these PIKO classic hits to be played on your shiny new PS5 or Series X console, leaving all the graphical fidelity that you paid those scalpers $800 for. But that's not to say I'm against bringing the older library forward. Backwards compatibility is awesome. Nintendo, you need to take note, man. The game performed fine. I remember what games were like in the 90s, and I don't need a reminder. I've just kind of moved on. Therefore, Jim Power left the farm with 3 beans out of 5. Yeah, well, that wraps up that review right there. Here's some notes I took. Where I put the keys to the tractor. So, we make these new review videos every week, so if you're an indie developer or there's something you want to see...
Fortnite, Dad. Do Fortnite.
Oh, we ain't doing no Fortnite.
Let us know your thoughts and recommendations in the comments down below. Be sure to visit again next week
as we continue to take humorous stabs at some of the industry's new and upcoming titles.
Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time on the Frog.